A Laurel County family has an emotional reaction after the man accused of killing their loved one makes an appearance in court.
Classmates of a teen hospitalized after a car crash are raising money to help his family.
Some families in Lexington are heading to Philadelphia for the Pope's visit.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good afternoon to you. They want justice for Amber. Today, the family of a woman murdered earlier this month in Laurel County came face to face with her accused killer.
Joseph Nestor is charged with killing his estranged girlfriend Amber Decker and hiding her body. Today, Nestor was back in court. Our Phil Pendleton was in the courtroom and tells us what Decker's family had to say about Nestor. It's our top story at 5:30.
The hearing was over in just a matter of seconds after the judge agreed to waive the case onto a grand jury following a request from Joseph Nestor's attorney. But afterwards, Amber Decker's family had a lot to say about the life that Nestor is accused of taking.
No, the pain will never go away. It'll never go away.
Amber Decker's family watched as Joseph Nestor walked into the courtroom, charged with murdering the 25-year-old woman who was once his girlfriend.
To look evil in the face, I know what it looks like, and I feel the presence of it.
Decker's home burned and she was missing for 3 days before her body was found in the woods behind the home near the Laurel-Clay County line. Police say Nestor was found at a London motel. He's charged with murder, tampering with physical evidence, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
I want him to know that Amber will always have a voice and that he will not get away with this. Justice will prevail.
Police did not testify and provide new details on the case because Nestor's attorney agreed to waive it to the grand jury. A decision on an indictment could come on October 16th.
We miss Amber so bad. We will never get over this, no matter what they give him. That don't bring Amber back.
And a candlelight vigil will take place in Decker's memory tonight at 8 o'clock in downtown Corbin. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Today would have been Amber Decker's 26th birthday. Her family says the event tonight will be a celebration of her life.
A man is in jail tonight accused of shooting his wife. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Clark County. According to the Winchester Sun, 33-year-old Robert Charles Brown was arrested last night at his home on Pendleton Street. Police say Brown told them that his wife dropped the gun and it went off, shooting her in the leg, but witnesses say that's not true. Brown's wife is at UK Hospital. There's no word on her condition at this time. Brown is charged with assault and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. In Anderson County, a volunteer firefighter has been arrested accused of using a computer to contact a minor for sex. 29-year-old Bruce Shane Meese was arraigned today in Franklin County. Investigators say Meese was sending messages to an undercover officer who was posing as a minor, asking them to do illegal sexual acts. Meese is scheduled to be in court again on September 29th. And in Laurel County, the sheriff's office wants to send a message in the wake of recent violence against police officers. Sheriff John Root says he has bought "In God We Trust" decals to put on the front fenders of their marked cruisers. Root tells us he paid for those decals for all the vehicles. He says many agencies are putting decals like this on their cruisers.
When God We Trust is the national motto, so to say, especially like on currency. And I know there's certain people that's probably not going to like it. I've never seen nobody come out, and bring something up that somebody's 100% for. But it's just like the currency. If those people don't like that, they don't need to be carrying currency around, is the way I feel about it.
Sheriff Root says deputies have the option of not having the decal on their cruiser, but says so far the response has been positive.
A Bath County high school student badly injured in a weekend crash is still in critical condition tonight. And now Aaron Williams' classmates are raising money to help his family. Our Victor Puente is in Bath County and tells us how Williams' friends are supporting his family.
The students here at Bath County High School are raising money to help the Williams family with Aaron's medical bills. They say the shirts they're selling were inspired by him. Williams was driving to a Bath County homecoming dance from Mount Sterling when he crashed his car on US 60. He's now at UK Hospital in critical condition. His mother says he suffered severe head trauma. His guidance counselor says the first day back to school for his classmates was a tough one.
And yesterday, when the kids first came in the building, it was a pretty somber place.
So they asked his friends what they would like to do to help. They came up with the idea of selling T-shirts. The school had been talking to Sean Bailey, the youth minister at Owensville Christian Church, and the church agreed to pay to have the shirts printed, meaning every dollar they make will go to Williams's family. Porter says the effort also helps his friends.
Anytime there's a tragedy like this, it helps kids to feel like they can be a part of it when they do something meaningful for the family.
That vigil in Montgomery County, where Aaron used to go to school, scheduled to start at 7 o'clock at the football field. In Bath County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Aaron's friends have also started a GoFundMe account to help with his medical bills.
Well, whether we like it or not, summer is coming to an end, and it looks like we will see some beautiful weather for the start of fall.
Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is here to talk about fall finally coming.
Yeah, what you see and what you feel is what you're going to continue to see and feel for a couple more days, guys. Take a look back at our day, courtesy of our Skycam down into Madison County, just north of Richmond. Notice how we start the day with a lot of clear skies, and then boom, we start to see a few clouds that go up through the middle of the day into the afternoon, and some of those clouds are still hanging tough across parts of southeastern Kentucky now, but that's been the trend that we've been seeing for the past couple of days. Get into the afternoon, you bubble up a few clouds, sun gets lower on the horizon, and we'll start to see those clouds dissipating across eastern Kentucky. A lot of temperatures, mid to upper 70s, a little warmer into parts of northern Kentucky where you've had more in the way of sunshine. 77 popular right now. Mount Sterling, Jackson, down into Harlan, Somerset, and Danville with those temperatures into the mid and the upper 70s. Great start to fall that is rolling on with the pleasant temperatures right on into the first few days of the brand new season. Then, as we inch closer to the weekend, we're going to see rain chances beginning to inch up as well, guys. That new hour-by-hour forecast, if you missed it a little earlier, we'll show you how the rains on it, at least on the computer models, are increasing a little sooner than you may think. I'll break it down in just a few minutes.
Pope Francis has officially landed in the U.S. He's in Washington, D.C. tonight, but he will leave for New York on Thursday, and then on Saturday, he'll be in Philadelphia.
While the Pope is in Philadelphia, he will hold a prayer vigil with the World Meetings of Families, which is the largest meeting of Catholic families held every 3 years. Kristen Kennedy is talking to some families going to visit the Pope this weekend.
About 160 people from the diocese will be leaving here Thursday morning, going to Philadelphia, where they will participate in all the activities leading up to the Pope's arrival. The group will be touring holy sites and sites of historic significance in Philadelphia. Saturday, they'll join thousands on the streets of Philadelphia for the Festival of Families. They'll attend Mass with Pope Francis Sunday. It's a chance for the group to see him and hear him speak. This is the Pope's first visit to the U.S.
It's about more than just the man himself. It's about the office that he represents, who he represents, as a visible sign of the unity of the church and a visible sign of Christ himself. And I think it's a reminder, too, of what we would call just the universality or the Catholicity of the church.
The group returns home Monday. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Several groups in Lexington will be traveling to Philadelphia to see the Pope. The diocese estimates more than 200 people from the area are heading that way.
The Pope's visit to the White House tomorrow prompted this good question today. How rare is it for the Pope to visit the White House? Pope Francis will meet with President Obama tomorrow in the Oval Office, and this will mark only the third time a Pope has visited the White House. The White House historian says the Pope's visit goes beyond his political power and his ability to reach out to world leaders.
The rarity of it, the fact that this is a person who technically is the head of state but has enormous prestige beyond the political power. It's the power of the church.
The other two visits by the Pope to the White House came first in 1979, when President Carter met with Pope John Paul II. And then in 2008, President Bush welcomed Pope Benedict XVI. Two state office holders are making headlines by making some big announcements affecting Kentuckians.
And Senator Mitch McConnell is working to avoid a partial federal government shutdown. Bill Bryant tells us what's holding up the deal on the bottom line.
Good evening. Two incumbent statewide office holders who are running for re-election found ways to make news in their official capacities over the last couple of days. Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes announcing her intentions to implement online voter registration, which was passed by the Kentucky General Assembly. Grimes talked about it during a forum broadcast last night on KET and then held a news conference today saying that it demonstrates her office's use of technology. Her Republican opponent, Steve Nipper, said he supports use of technology but would not move ahead with online registration until he is sure that voting rolls have been properly audited. Meanwhile, State Auditor Adam Edlin made headlines with his announcement that more than 3,000 rape kits are waiting testing. Some have languished for more than 40 years. Edlin's Republican opponent is State Representative Mike Harmon. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell working to try to stop a partial federal government shutdown as time ticks away toward that possibility. Senator and presidential candidate Ted Cruz and some Tea Party members of the House are threatening to hold up passage of spending legislation if it funds Planned Parenthood. It follows the release of secretly recorded videos in which Planned Parenthood officials discuss acquiring fetal parts for medical research. Even some who have concerns about the videos are pushing back against the fallout of a possible government shutdown that could happen October 1st. Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker went back to work at the state capitol in Madison today after his abrupt exit from the crowded Republican presidential campaign. A few weeks ago, Walker was leading in the polls before his lead slipped away. Meanwhile, frontrunner Donald Trump will appear tonight on CBS's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. The Pope is among the political crowd in Washington, where he arrived today ahead of addressing a joint session of Congress Thursday. More on that coming up on the CBS Evening News. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
The two women hoping to be Kentucky's next lieutenant governor square off tomorrow in their first televised debate.
State Representative Sandy Overly is running alongside Democrat Jack Conway, and military veteran Janine Hampton is Republican Matt Bevin's pick for the ticket. WKYT, WLKY in Louisville, and the League of Women Voters of Kentucky are sponsoring the debate at Midway University. You can watch a live stream of that debate beginning at 7 tomorrow night on WKYT.com. And then at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, you can catch an encore presentation of the debate on the CW Lexington.
Governor Beshear and First Lady Jane Beshear are making sure thousands of Kentucky children get oral health services during the school year. Today, the governor and First Lady announced that 10 new counties are joining the Smiling Schools initiative. Now, about 18,000 elementary school children in 40 counties will get a protective varnish treatment. Counties in our region that joined today are Clark, Nicholas, and Pulaski.
The University of Kentucky College of Dentistry evaluated this program, the Smiling Schools program. They evaluated the kids treated under this program, and they reported a 20% reduction in tooth decay and fillings.
That program is funded by Appalachian Regional Commission and the Kentucky Oral Health Program.
Now.